So hello everyone. We are just starting the webinar. We are waiting just for participants. I think we will start on time at 2 p.m. At Jordan time. So let's wait just for 1 minute and we will start the webinar. So I can see here like the number of participants are increasing, and I think we should start. Hello everyone. My name is Muayyid Al-Momani. I'm the country manager for Solarity Jordan, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar for Fronius commissioning and monitoring for all of the Fronius inverters. So today we have developed a great webinar speaking about the monitoring and commissioning for Fronius inverters using SolarWeb. It would be in cooperation with our partner, Fronius company. And I would like here to highlight our long-term cooperation with Fronius, and as we are the Fronius service partner in Jordan. So we have committed to deliver the right training from time to time once needed for the market and for the region. So thank you very much for joining us today, and hopefully that you will enjoy the webinar. So I'll introduce the speakers for today. So my colleague Muhammad Hassan from Technical Support for Solarity Jordan, and from Fronius we have Peter, the Technical Sales Advisor from Fronius, and Robert, from the sales representative from Fronius company. So for the agenda of today, we will start with the Solarity introduction, brief about Solarity, and then we will speak about introduction for Fronius company. Then we will dig in details about monitoring and commissioning for Fronius inverters. And then we have space for questions and answers. So anyone have any question, he can go directly for the Q&A space that you can see it. So feel free to ask any question that you have, if it's in Arabic or in English, so we can answer it accordingly by the end of the webinar. So quick brief about Solarity. Solarity Jordan mainly. What's the story behind Solarity in general? So we have started our business in 2009 in Czech Republic as an EPC company. And then we have decided to move for distribution in 2011. So we became a distributor, international distributor in 2020. We have presence worldwide, and I will present it later. So if we are talking about Solarity in numbers, so we have delivered over than 150 megawatt per year, and we have covered over than 30 countries worldwide. Also, we have 10 nationalities working in Solarity. And as you see, like our subsidiaries worldwide, including Prague, Budapest, Dubai, Kiev, and Jordan and Poland. So this is our expansion so far, and we are looking forward for the new countries. So what we are doing in Solarity, we are focusing on our business as a distributor. So we are not doing an EPC at the moment. So we have a good relation with the manufacturers, and we are taking care of the logistics and all of the matters which will help our EPC installers to move further and concentrate on their core business. What's the services that we are doing, because we are not only a distributor. So we have the technical know-how. So from time to time, we are providing the technical support needed. We have our technical support mainly in Jordan, Muhammad Hassan, so he's taking care of this matter. And we have different financing schemes, which is helping our partners in the region that they can finance their projects. We have also partner programs, also local support, as I mentioned, and trainings, and also, which is very important, the logistics part that we are taking care of. Our mainly international presence, as you can see, like the headquarters in Czech Republic, and our branches worldwide, and also you can see in the yellow lines here the active markets that we are active in, and our warehouses, as already highlighted here. So Solarity in Jordan, specifically, we have over than 5 megawatts for immediate availability in our warehouse. So we committed to have this volume as a minimum quantity in our stock. And we have 6 employees in Jordan between logistics, technical support, and administration support and sales. And also we have delivered over than 27 megawatts last year, or at least for the past 12 months. So we have also concentrated on the very important thing, which is to deliver the best quality from the manufacturers that we are dealing with. And we can be assured that it's the product easy to sell and easy to install, and having a specific performance that we can guarantee and follow it up. And somehow we have committed for this quality. And as you can see here, our partners, as we have different cooperation with manufacturers, and specifically since we are talking about Fronius, as I mentioned, we are the Fronius service partner in Jordan. So we have committed to do the technical support, all of the services needed for Fronius inverters in the region. And for the residential offers, I mean, we are always offering modules from pallets to containers. So we are taking care about different segmentation of the market, from residential up to commercial projects. So we have the accessories, including mounting structure accessories. So everything should be available with Solarity Jordan. And we have also developed some projects with our partners, with our APC partners. So we are helping them to deliver on time, and also for their design phase of their projects. So for projects also, we have committed to serve them once needed. So that's a quick brief about Solarity Jordan, and I'm going to transfer the mic for my colleague Peter from Fronius. So he will dig in details about the monitoring and commissioning for Fronius inverters. So Peter, the mic is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar. Topic of the presentation is a professional remote service with Fronius SolarWeb and initial commissioning of the Fronius SolarWeb inverters. I will explain you how to optimally use your SolarWeb account for remote surveys, and also give you the information about the initial commissioning of your inverters. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Petr Kotrba, and I work at tech support in Solar Energy Division at Fronius Czech Republic. And I also would like to introduce my colleague, Robert Sedmera, who is a sales representative at Fronius Czech Republic.
Hello, I'm greeting all.
Thank you, Robert. What is on the agenda for today? Firstly, we will have an insight to Fronius SolarWeb portal, I will explain you what is the Fronius Solar Web Portal, what is required for complete monitoring of the PV system. There is also a differentiation between SolarWeb and SolarWeb Premium. So I will describe you what the difference are between these two versions. The biggest part of presentation is focused to the information how to use Fronius SolarWeb as a remote service tool. There are a lot of possibilities, and I will try to introduce them to you today. Then we will continue with the information how to do successfully the online troubleshooting and how to use for this purpose tools which are available at SolarWeb Portal. The next part of the presentation will be focused to initial commissioning of our new inverters Fronius Gen 24 Plus and initial commissioning of Fronius Snap inverters. So what is Fronius SolarWeb about? Maybe a quick overview of our monitoring portal. Fronius SolarWeb portal you can find under www.solarweb.com. That is the starting page of Fronius SolarWeb portal. Fronius SolarWeb enables complete overview and extensive control of your PV systems, where we have got an access anytime and everywhere with every mobile device. You can look at your PV system installed. That is the starting page of the SolarWeb. It's the same for every PV system which is registered at SolarWeb portal. Here in the left upper corner, you can see bubble chart. This bubble chart displays a current power and the current energy flows. So in these windows, you can find you can see how much energy is currently produced by PV system, what are the loads in the household, and the consumption in the household. So you can see how much produced energy is consumed and how much is fed to the grid. Also, one bubble, this bubble, is reserved for battery. That means in case the customer has the battery storage installed in his PV system, he also can see the energy flows to the battery or from the battery in case of charging or discharging of the battery. The energy from the battery is used when the energy from PV is not sufficient to cover end consumption in the family house, and vice versa, the battery is charged with the energy surplus from the PV system in case there is a higher PV production than energy consumption in the family house. In this bubble, also the state of charge is shown. Then in the middle, you can see an energy balance. Energy balance today, that means this is a daily view of daily production curve of your PV system. That is, of course, recorded on daily basis, and you can anytime in the past look back. You can watch the performance, and all the time you can check what is the energy balance daily, monthly, and yearly. Everything is possible with SolarWeb. On the right upper corner, you can see the earnings and CO2 savings. These values are mainly interesting for the end customers who can easily see what are the financial and ecological benefits of their systems. And on the bottom here, there is also integrated a weather forecast. That means depending on the individual location of the PV system, there is a weather widget integrated where you can see a weather forecast for your geographical location. That was general information about the landing page of SolarWeb portal, and now we will continue with information how to use Fronius SolarWeb. So what are the hardware prerequisites to successfully use our monitoring portal? For Fronius SolarWeb is, of course, the installed inverter Fronius needed, which includes the communication card Fronius Data Manager 2.0. When we look at Fronius Snap Inverters, this is this picture. You can see this communication card here in the bubble. For your information, the Snap Inverter series consists of our inverter series Fronius Simo, Simo Hybrid, Primo, Galvo, and Echo. The data manager card sends the data from the PV system to Solar Web servers, as it's shown here. Here on this slide, and Solar Web you can access by mobile devices from anywhere on Earth where there is an internet connection. Here on this picture is our new hybrid inverter, Fronius Simo Gen 24 Plus. This inverter has a standard communication card also integrated, but it's no longer called Data Manager 2.0. It's now called the Pilot, which is doing the data transmission to the Solar Web, the same function as Data Manager. What is really hardly recommended from Fronius to install on every PV system with Fronius inverter, also the Fronius smart meter. The best solution is to install the Fronius smart meter at the feeding point. If you want to use the Fronius Solar Web portal to the full extent, this is a key also to install for every system a Fronius smart meter at the feeding point. Why is this smart meter so important? I would point out here a scheme for you where you can see the system with the installed primary smart meter. This smart meter is placed directly behind the grid electricity meter, and it's more or less a bidirectional energy meter which measures the energy flows to the grid and from the grid. This is very much needed information for the inverter in order to realize maybe energy management for integrated hot water generation solution with Fronius on pilot. Also for DC coupled battery storage, you all the time need this primary smart meter. This is also prerequisite. And also for the remote service processes would be very helpful if there is such Fronius smart meter installed on the PV system, because we also receive valuable data from primary smart meter, which we can later use for example for troubleshooting. And that is also a benefit you have with the Fronius smart meter. You can see on the screenshot an energy balance from very sunny production day of a PV system on a daily energy balance basis. It's shown. You can of course do monthly and yearly comparisons. That's anytime and everywhere also possible. But this is now a daily view from the PV system with the smart meter installed. What you can see here is the yellow part. This is a power to the battery. So a surplus energy from around about 7 to 10 is stored in the battery, as shows this yellow area. Then you can see here also very valuable visualization. You can also integrate the Fronius on pilot, the device which can use an energy access for heating or cooling solution. As you can see, when the battery is fully charged, this is this curve, this state of charge about 100%. That means the battery are almost fully charged. Then a surplus energy is redirected to the on pilot, and in this case is used for example, for hot water generation or for cooling. Because on this example system, also the temperature sensor is installed, you can see here also a water temperature. This is this blue curve. You can see a water temperature in this energy balance. So That's everything is recorded in the SolarWeb, and you can see all the things come together in one picture. This data and graphs are very valuable for using SolarWeb as a tool for a remote service, because all the information is gathered and you can use it. Which SolarWeb account are selectable? There are two different types of SolarWeb accounts available. We differentiate between the Fronius SolarWeb and Fronius SolarWeb Premium. The basic SolarWeb account is 100% free of charge. And also with the basic function, you have visualization and analysis of the current production, and also archive data are available. You can also do some comparison and yield results, and also you can use the basic function for service, because there are automatic notifications in case there happens an error. With the premium version, which is paid, you have got some advanced views. I don't know a price of premium SolarWeb for Jordan at the moment, but in Europe, it's priced between 20 and 25 euros per year. With this premium version, you have also a self-consumption analysis. That means the SolarWeb automatically calculates the amount of energy which is used directly for yourself. And also you have overview of the electric power consumption, for example. That means you have some advanced views, some advanced features in the SolarWeb Premium. For example, you can export the data from your system to the CSV file. Or also Amazon Alexa skill is integrated in the SolarWeb Premium. That is the big differences between the basic SolarWeb account and SolarWeb Premium account. I also would like to inform you that Fronius SolarWeb bind the customers. That means service is also, of course, important. Just think of the consulting. With the SolarWeb, you can realize 100% of customer support as you use it as a service tool. That means the customers highly appreciate if you can do all this data analysis and all the time system overview. Means the customers are requiring the information, what the PV system is performing. They want to be all the time up to date about the functionality of the PV system. And that is the possibility which offers SolarWeb portal. What is also linked to SolarWeb is a product registration of the PV system. It means you have a basic warranty with Fronius products of 2 years. And if you want to extend this basic warranty, you have to do a registration of the PV system in the SolarWeb portal. There are attractive warranty packages for your individual customers. That's very depending on where you live and what country. There is a very, very long list of different warranties. Just check it for your regional area, what Fronius is offering. And also for what Fronius SolarWeb is very valuable, it's for system extension. At this point, I'm thinking of possibilities for follow-up businesses. You don't want to install the PV system and lose your customer, so it's very appreciated if you bind customer. For this purpose, is SolarWeb very good tool, because you have a possibility to offer the customer some system adaptation or extension of his PV system. So much to the general stuff of Fronius SolarWeb. Now we are coming to the service topics, which is becoming significantly important. The topic is how to use Fronius SolarWeb as a remote service tool. I would start with a very quick quotation, which I want to address to you. So I have pointed out a sentence which tells you PV system in Fronius SolarWeb is a win-win-win situation for Fronius, for customers, and also for installers. If the PV system with Fronius inverter is in our SolarWeb portal, that is a huge advantage, and I will demonstrate you why. Principally, there are different possibilities how to use the Fronius SolarWeb as a remote service tool. First of all, the base is always the permission. It means we have got different permissions in SolarWeb, and it's necessary that you, as an installer, or maybe as a customer, you've got a right permission to maybe run an update, to maybe make some changes in the settings. We have 3 available permissions for SolarWeb account. The highest permission is owner. This permission have the owner. That means the person who created the PV system under his account in SolarWeb. The second permission is the supervisor. This permission is quite similar as the owner, but the supervisor cannot delete the system. And the lowest permission is the guest. You can also do a remote firmware update by using SolarWeb. This is a one-click update, which is available for our different components like communication card data manager, communication card pilot, or inverters, or other devices, for example, on pilot. The next possibility you can use for service is a message center, because we have centralized message center in the Fronius SolarWeb, where all the service messages appear. You get a brief description of your error state code. The next possibility is a data comparison in SolarWeb. So since the data from PV system is recorded in SolarWeb, you can, since you want to look at the data, and of course do this energy balance and real-time data comparison and history views. So I have pointed out a crucial thing if you do a service using Fronius SolarWeb is a hierarchy. As I already told you, we have 3 different positions and rights on this SolarWeb portal, and on this slide you have a description of each type of permission. With the owner, you have an ultimate permissions in SolarWeb. You can do all the different settings, and as an owner, you also have an authorization to delete the PV system in SolarWeb. This is the highest level of permissions you can have. The second permission is supervisor. As I told you, this permission is quite similar, but supervisor is not able to delete a PV system at SolarWeb. So if you want to use the SolarWeb for service, please be sure that you are at least a supervisor for that specific PV system in SolarWeb. And the last permission is the guest view. This is a read-only access, and you can use it for, if you want, for example, to introduce some existing system to a potential customer. Or you can also directly generate a link to the PV system at SolarWeb and send it to a potential customer. And what is also very important is how to change this permission in the SolarWeb. If you are on the home page of the PV system in SolarWeb, you go to the settings, and in these submenus you can find submenu permissions, where you can add someone or to delete somebody, depending on what you want to do. If you click on this add button, you will see this pop-up window, and into this field you can add the email to the person you want to add, and which he uses as a login for his SolarWeb account. So it's necessary if you want to add or delete someone, he must have an active account in SolarWeb portal also. And another thing which comes to remote service is one-click remote update. This is the most common application with this service. As you can see on the screenshot, there is a menu named components, and where you have listed all the components in this individual system. That means if you have multiple data managers integrated on some PV system, you have a possibility to update all the data managers in the system, and also other products like inverter or on pilot. All these devices are listed here under settings and components. If there is a firmware update available, there also appears a red button. You can see it here, where you see your installed version, firmware version, and the already available version. So in this example here, you can only click on this checkbox here to choose the available update. The available update is 1.0.25-3, and then to click on red button to start the update. Then the update starts completely automatically. So this update possibility is ready for you every time and from everywhere where is a connection to the internet available. When to start a remote update? Principally, there are different components and of course, different updates. So one update can be for a data manager and the other can be used for only for pilot or other device or other component, and the other for the inverter. In general, we can say all the time there is a reason behind an update. So Fronius is always looking for continuous improvement. We all the time want to ensure that we fix the bugs which came up or appear in the fields. Therefore, our clear recommendation is to keep the components up to date to ensure the best performance of the system and also have the latest functions of the system. With the updates, there are coming the new functions, and from this reason, it's necessary that you keep your system up to date. Another thing which you can use in the remote service with Fronius SolarWeb are these service messages. It's a kind of service which you can also find at the start page of Fronius SolarWeb portal. I mean, if you go under service messages, you will see this list of service messages. Here, all the service messages are listed with a brief description. We have the exact date and date time when the service message appeared, and also the state code is displayed. So the exact tracking of error is possible, and you receive a service message with a brief description. Just look here to one example. As you can see, in this case, the error message regarding the on-pilot is shown, the state 9 to 1. This state code means that the temperature sensor is not connected. So that is the first hint you get from our portal for the service. This hint helps you to identify and fix a failure. Another possibility, what you can see within a Fronius SolarWeb is if you are doing some real-time data comparison, it's the analysis of different sources of the different components. So if you go under analysis and real-time data, you see all your devices installed. This screenshot, for example, would be a commercial application. So here 3 Fronius Echoes inverters. Echoes are installed, and you all the time see a deviation of each inverter from the other one. That means if one of these inverters installed would be now red or yellow, there would be a deviation from the optimum performance. That means this could also be a hint where could be a potential error. But please be sure that there are 3 indicators panes. A temporary deviation is not necessarily a mandatory indicator for an error. That means it could be absolutely normal that in some time of the day or at some point of operation, one inverter is, for example, yellow, and other ones are green, because to this inverter can be another part of the PV modules on the roof connected, or this part of roof can be, for example, shaded for some time during a day. Yes, and also from the historical data, you can see a lot of things. This data is real-time data. That means this data is collected and put together in a Solar Web Portal. You can look for specific devices and also for specific channels. Means if you want to check the DC current or the DC voltages, you can choose the specific channel in the analysis. You can see it here. This example is a commercial application, commercial PV system with Fronius Echoes and Fronius SIMO. I can choose the SIMO inverter and then to compare the voltages of MPPT input 1 and MPPT input 2. And therefore, if you choose these channels, you get the direct comparison, and you can also go to the past to compare the archive values, the historical values from the inverters. So this data can help you as an indicator that the inverter is not running properly, or there is a problem with one MPP tracker. Therefore, this is also a useful tool you can use for troubleshooting. Okay, so much the part of presentation about SolarWeb as a useful tool for surveys. And now I will continue with the information about our homepage, where you can find further technical information about our devices and services. Where you can easily get your information. What is quite new here at Fronius is the information center for installers that is directly retrievable on our homepage www.fronius.com. in Solar Energy Division, Info Center, and Installer Support. Here on one page, you can easily find everything what can be relevant, like data sheets, operating instructions, software updates, and also the information about our trainings, webinars, and other events. You can find all these materials in this tech support area for installers. Okay, and let's go to the part about initial commissioning of Fronius Gen 24. Because of time, I have to skip the information how to do a correct installation and cabling for Gen 24 inverters, but I think this is sufficiently described in the installation or operating guides. So I will go directly to information how to correct do initial commissioning, or how a correct initial commissioning should be done. A commissioning is done by opening of Wi-Fi access point. The access point is in the middle of the inverter Gen 24 or Gen 24 Plus. This sensor is in the middle between two LEDs here. If you click once on the sensory button, you will open a Wi-Fi access point. When the inverter cabling is finished, when the inverter is mounted to the wall bracket, and the inverter is also connected to the AC side, then you can switch on the DC breaker, and after pressing once the light sensory button, then a Wi-Fi access point will be activated. What to do next after opening an access point? We can do commissioning in many ways. Principally, it can be done using app or using web browser. For those of you who are familiar with a web browser like Snap Inverters, it's the same process for the Gen 24. But you can also do the commissioning using smartphone app. The new smartphone app is Fronius Solar Start. This app is already available on our homepage, and it's available for your smartphone or tablet with the operation system Android or iOS. Actually, you can choose whether you want to do it with app or with web browser. A process with the app I will show you on the following slide. Now I also briefly describe a process with a browser. When you open an access point with one press on a sensory button, you open and then you open a browser on your device, on your laptop, and you connect to the inverter access point. Then you should type in the IP address into the browser. The IP address is the same on all Gen 24 inverters and as well as on the Snap inverters. So if you open this IP address, the IP address is 192.168.250.181. This is all the time same fixed IP address for all our inverters. And then if you open this IP address, you will be automatically forwarded to the web interface of the inverter. On the smartphone app, it would be like this, or it would look like this. You open your app, you click on whether you want to do a commissioning or for Gen 24 or for Snap inverters. Then app will tell you to open an access point on the inverter. This is this screen. And after it connected, it will guide you through the next steps you need to do. And also for more details, you can also watch our video, our YouTube video. The name is Gen 24 Plus Commissioning. And I can recommend to watch it because it's a very good video where you can get very useful information how to do a commissioning of Gen 24 Plus. Okay, let's go. Let's continue with the initial commissioning of Fronius Snap inverters. On Snap inverters, a startup procedure is done very easily in 5 steps. As you can see, there is a difference that the Snap inverter has a display with 4 capacitive buttons below the display. And with these buttons, you can go through the installation wizard. It's enough that only AC side is connected to the inverter because this display is AC supplied. So as soon as the inverter is connected to the AC, you will go step by step through these settings. You have to set language, so it's the language on the display, the correct country setup, which is suitable for your country. Also, time and date needs to be set. And if the inverter has 2 MPP trackers, you can switch on to turn on the second MPP tracker if it's desired, if it's needed, or if it's necessary. After you finish the settings, the inverter is running, and if it has an energy from DC, it's producing a power. Let's go on with the data communication of Fronius snap inverters. Actually, there are a few differences to the Gen 24. The snap inverters do not have a simple LAN Ethernet connection as we have on the Gen 24. On the Gen 24, there is a simple Ethernet connection between inverters. But on the snap inverters, we have so-called SolarNet protocol for communication between the inverters. The SolarNet protocol is a Fronius protocol, which is not normal internet protocol, and we use it for communication between inverters, and we have a ring topology for this communication. So, for example, as it's shown on this slide, if we have system with 4 inverters, 4 snap inverters, we can connect every inverter to another. It is the system in out, in out, in out. What is very important, we have to close the ring. Therefore, we have to install these termination plugs. So the first plug is here and the second plug is here. Because the communication loops needs to be terminated. It needs to be terminated on both sides. Then if we installed the termination plug, the communication loop, the communication ring is closed, and the data from all inverters will be collected by one data manager, which can be inserted to one of devices, to one of inverters. So this is this card. So in this data manager will be stored the data from the whole system, from the all 4 inverters. And then the data can be sent via internet to the Fronius Solar Web Portal. What is also very important, every inverter in the communication ring must have unique address. So please do not forget to set the address for each inverter. The setting of this address you can do in the menu from the display of the inverter. The addresses can be, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. In general, up to 100 inverters can be connected to one data manager. If you install more inverters on one PV system, where every inverter has data manager installed, please be aware that only one data manager can be active for one data communication ring. Therefore, deactivate please the other data managers that only one is active. You must not to dismount the data manager from the inverter. You can only easily set one data manager as a master. It's a switch on the data manager, and you can switch it to the one to the master and the other cards, the other data managers to slave. So you can use master slave switch on the data manager. That means that the master is active data manager and the slaves are the deactivated data managers. The next step is to get the inverter online. On the snap inverter, you will activate an access point via display. In the menu of the inverter, you will find in the menu settings the item Wi-Fi access point, which you can easily switch on. The next process is similar as on Gen 24. You can again connect to the inverter Wi-Fi access point from your smartphone or from your tablet, and using app, or you can connect from your laptop using web browser, you will start a commissioning process. If you open the web browser and type the fixed IP address, which is shown here. Then a setup wizard starts automatically, and you can go step by step through the wizard. We are nearing to the end of my presentation. Under links www.solarweb.com and www.fronius.com, you can find the further information. You can also visit our website with the information about trainings and other education events. So this was last information from me for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a good experience with Fronius product. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Peter, for the presentation and actually for the great information that you have provided. Let me just check the Q&A part. So if there is any questions to be answered. I think there is no questions so far. So we might wait just a couple of minutes. So if there is any question, we can answer it, or we can move to talk about any, I mean, the best practices for Fronius service cases with my colleague Muhammad from Solarity Jordan. So the mic is yours, Muhammad.
Thank you, Mayed, and thank you, Peter, for your presentation and your information that you shared with us.
You are welcome.
With the participants. But let me please first, I need to ask in Arabic the participant if they have any questions, just to make sure that everything is clear for them. أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا. يعني أنا حاب أول شيء بالبداية أستفسر إذا عندكم أي استفسار أو إذا كان في شيء مش واضح بموضوع المونيتورنج أو الكوميشنينج، ويا ريت إذا في حدا عنده أي استفسار يخبرنا على هذا الموضوع. بتقدروا من خلال ال Q&A section تسألوا أي سؤال بدكم إياه، وأكيد راح نجاوبكم عليه.
Okay, so Muhammad, we have some questions in the Q&A. I think we have a question from Salam. So the question is, where can I find in Jordan battery pack for my hybrid system, SIMO system? So this is the question. If you can answer it, please.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I will answer it for Salim. Actually, we don't have now batteries for hybrid SIMO inverters, but we can order it. But we need more information and more details about your system to give you the suitable batteries and suitable size for your system, for sure.
I think that's all. Regarding the follow-up, I just wanted to make it more clear. So after we will finish this webinar, we will follow up with all of the requests that we have. So you can see here our contact. If you can send us an email, or if you can call us in Solarity Jordan team, any of us, so we can answer your questions for sure. And we will follow up with all of our attendees, and you will receive the recorded video for this webinar. So that's for sure. I mean, because we have one of the questions asking about following up this conference. So Muhammad, I think now the Q&A that's clear. But if you have any case for Fronius inverters that you wanted to talk about. and the best practices for Fronius in the market for the cases of after-sales services. We can speak about it.
Yeah, for sure, Muayyad. Actually, the main issues that we are facing with the clients, it's only about the first setup and how we can do the first commissioning, as Peter mentioned before at the presentation, and also about the monitoring system and how connecting to the WLAN network or to the local network. And for sure, we have one of the service cases about SIMO 10 kilowatt inverters. The problem was with the filter board, and for sure, after checking the whole component of the system from the DC side and AC side, and we are in close contact with the Fronius themselves about this case. And after 48 hours only, we changed the filter board and the inverter back to the life again. So this is one of the cases that we had before 1 month, I think, and that's it for the cases. In general, we don't have a lot of cases for Fronius. That's some issues with the first commissioning and monitoring.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think everyone should be happy about it that we have specific cases which is solved on a specific time according to the Fronius service partnership that we have. So, in this case, like for the information that we have all of the spare parts needed for these inverters for any service case in Jordan. So I think now we have covered majority of points that was proposed to be presented. So I would like to thank you all for attending this webinar. And please, if you have any other questions in your mind, then please send us in our email info@solarity.show so we can contact you as soon as possible. So thank you very much again for joining, and see you soon in another webinar with Fronius. Thank you, Robert, and thank you, Peter. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, everyone.